Um, what on earth could you see in this guy? He sounds like such an asshole. And then, because you know what, I do this with my girlfriends, that all I tell them is the shit that, that he's on the autism spectrum, that blah, 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 doesn't care about me. I do all these things. And then, as I'm saying this, I'm like, wait, I like recalling when I would say this to my friends, and I'm like, actually, you know what? Forget about it. Forget about it. And I feel like overwhelmed with how delusional and self-entitled those moments are, because sometimes the things that they do for you, you're completely blind to because you see what you look for. If I want to have a fight, if I'm feeling low self-esteem, I'm going to be like, you're shit and you treat me like shit and I feel like shit and I want to blame you. But more often than not, it's me being crazy. I've never really, look, I've only had one boyfriend. And he was lovely. But it sounds, Paula, like your guy is a not nice man at all. And you need to assess why you are still with him. Because some people do like to be treated like shit. And maybe you can compare him to the past relationships and see if you have a habit of dating people that treat you really badly because you feel that you don't deserve any better. But yeah, it doesn't sound like you haven't mentioned any redeeming qualities at all. Are you just afraid of being single? Because he sounds like he doesn't even like you. It sounds like he doesn't even want to have you around. Maybe he is on some kind of, I don't know. But, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what you see in him. Except for your own self-loathing. So maybe, yeah. That's something that you could address for the next man lining up. Paula, I don't want to give finite sort of advice. There's always a subtext that's like, do what you want, but my interpretation is, and having said that, my interpretation is from the sounds of this letter, he's not affectionate. He doesn't want to go on nice vacations with. Okay. We've been living together for 4 years and he never shares household responsibilities, doesn't put in any effort into going on nice dates with me, doesn't make a big deal about my birthday, never brings me flowers. I have to say with all of these things, it's like, well, maybe he's not interested in those kinds of like material points where people can be like, look, it's like that Janet Jackson film clip. It's like, he does a lot of nice things for me. Yes, honey, I love him. He does a lot of nice things for me. Like, meaning buys you nice things and, essentially. But then where it goes on to rarely compliments me, doesn't thank me when I make a nice dinner for him and his friends, isn't that affectionate, doesn't want to go on nice vacations with me. It's gotta hurt. So you're hurting and, you got to figure out why you're putting up with it and evaluate the pros and the cons. And it sounds like the cons column is getting pretty fucking dense right about now. So, Paula, that's my 2 cents.